everyone, it's Emma, and today I'm doing 25 non-bookish facts about me. One of you guys asked me to do this on my last Q&A, and I didn't answer that question at the time because I was already telling you all so much about myself. It's been a little while now, and I figured I would make a whole video out of this and tell you all some things about me. The biggest fangirl moment I ever had was when I went to see Once on Broadway, not realizing that Arthur Darvill, aka Rory from Doctor Who, aka one of my favorite Doctor Who characters, was playing the lead in the show. He was incredible, so talented, when I didn't even know he could sing and play guitar. And then I got to meet him after the show and take a picture and get an autograph, and I totally fangirl freaked out and squealed. I eat food with really weird utensils. I eat rice with a spoon. I sometimes eat salad with chopsticks. Almost all of my meals go in bowls. I can't even remember the last time I used a plate. Ice cream belongs in a mug. I'm not sure why it's that way. I have always been that way, and I didn't really realize it was kind of weird until recently. My best friend and I are very, very, very different from each other. We're almost complete opposites. She's going to college for biomedical engineering, and I didn't go to college and stayed home and started a YouTube channel. That pretty much has summed up our personalities since we were 3 years old. For some reason, it has always worked. No matter how long it's been since we talked to each other, as soon as we hang out, it just kind of clicks back into how it's always been. Part of the reason is that we're cousins, so we've always had that family bond underneath our friendship. We never really got into big fights, and we will always be friends no matter how long it's been since we saw each other. When I text people or watch TV shows, I laugh out loud. I'm definitely that person that will be in public texting someone and they say something funny and I laugh out loud without thinking about the fact that it probably looks really weird. Baths are one of the most relaxing things to me, and I love to take them. Face masks are a really important part of my self-care. Taking care of my skin, there's something really important about it to me. It kind of summarizes taking care of myself in general. Waking up early and being productive in the morning really starts out my day in a positive way. I can accomplish the same amount of things that I did on a different day, but if I accomplish them in the morning, it really helps me feel active throughout the day and feel satisfied with my day. I started taking karate when I was 7 years old, and my master used to tell people before I would spar with them not to get distracted because I would smile at them and then punch them in the face. His words, not mine. I always felt bad because the people I was fighting would then get nervous. I have really strong color associations. I don't think that I have what it's called when you see colors when you listen to music, synesthesia, or I've never been told that I do, but my color associations are so strong. I have colors for each of my friends that for some reason they just remind me of those colors, and for each of the seasons, for different emotions. It's a huge part of my creative process and what inspires me, and it's why my Instagram is always so matchy and why the color scheme is always such a big part of it, because it's actually just the way that I see the world. It's the way that I organize my bookshelves, and I can't even explain it to people. It's really hard for me to explain what it feels like. My middle name is Margaret, and when I was younger, I used to want to be called Maggie. More than any language, I want to be fluent in sign language. My grandfather couldn't speak for most of my life because he had cancer. We learned a little bit of sign language to communicate with him. He hated it, so we never used it, but I kind of fell in love with the language, and I just thought it was the most beautiful way to communicate. I've always remembered the alphabet and what I learned when I was little, and I've always kind of hoped that I would be able to become fluent and work with people who are hard of hearing. It's just been this dream that I've had my whole life. I think I often come off shyer than I actually am because I don't really like small talk. I love music and I love singing, but I would almost rather sing harmony with someone than sing the actual melody or be in the front focus. I really enjoy singing harmonies with my brothers. It makes my heart soar more than singing the melody. In general, I need 2 hours of alone time a day to feel grounded, to feel like myself, and to feel sane. I've found 2 people in my life who are the exception to this. I love eating pad thai. It is one of my favorite foods. I'm a really deep feeler and I think very seriously about most things, which leads me to be a little bit over compassionate, which is why I cry so easily in books or when people tell me nice things. I live in a very small, not well-known place, but to me it is the most beautiful place in the world. I've never been outside of the USA. The farthest I've ever been was Hawaii. I would most like to travel to Japan. I would really like to go there and live for at least a month so I could really experience what their lifestyle is like and so that I could be immersed in their culture. I just think that the way they live is so interesting. In another life, I think I would have gone into the army. It's always appealed to me, I think because the style of karate that I did is super disciplined, and so a lot of people who got up to their black belt in Tung Soo Do went on to be in the army or special forces or something like that. But I don't think the lifestyle, like the reality of being in the army or the navy or the military in some way, would ever actually appeal to me. Not being able to have control over your circumstances or not to be able to be with your loved ones. But in a lot of ways, it has always really appealed to me. I love flying on airplanes. It is such a creative space for me. I've written so many poems on airplanes. Flying alone is so much fun because it's like an entire couple hours to just be able to write and create things. I don't think I've ever had someone guess my age correctly. Usually people think I'm older than I am. I have gotten the rare person who thinks that I'm super young. Even growing up, I don't think I ever had anyone guess my age correctly. I cannot and will never be able to whistle. And the last fact that I'm going to share with you all is that I've been happier this year in my life than I've ever been before. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more. Please leave me one fact about yourself in the comments. I would really like to know some random cool things about you guys. So leave me something down in the comments so I can read through it and get to know you guys a little bit better. I hope you have a lovely day or night or afternoon, and I will see you in my next video.